I'm Tracy Matrano, and I'm the Director of Information Technology Policy at Cornell University, and I also run the Institute for Computer Policy and Law. There's no question that this is an exciting and dynamic age because of the Internet, but we do have to include it in all aspects of our life so that we understand its implications and its most propitious uses, rather than falling into the rabbit holes of inappropriate behavior.
Facebook's more of like a social thing, more of like updating what's happening in your life and stuff. So I don't think it's very appropriate for like students and professors to have like Facebook friendships.
I'm just seeing like personal information about my professor, him seeing personal information about me, and I don't want to see like status updates from my professor, especially if it's like, oh, it's 2 a.m. on Saturday, I'm so out of it, or whatever, something like that.
It's good to have like a relationship with your professor, like almost like friends, but there should always be that line.
If they become too involved, either psychologically or physically, as in a romantic relationship, a sexual relationship, these are very complicated circumstances that predate the Internet. We already know the kinds of problems that they can pose, from institutional liability, personal liability, and more often than not get in the way of the development of the student. So if social networking becomes a vehicle that would promote some of these more negative types of communications and how it might lead to inappropriate relationships that are a harm to both parties ultimately, the institutional reputation, teaching missions, so on and so forth, then that is the kind of communication that one would need to counsel themselves out of or be careful of when they engage in it across the two constituencies.
I think universities should have a policy regarding Facebook and other social media. Probably something that like it has to be used for just educational reasons.
Professor wants to know more about you, or like, and goes to your Facebook and checks your profile, and like he sees something like, oh, I didn't know she was like this, or like he disapproves of your personal life. That shouldn't, like, that's gonna affect the way he might see you, but I don't think that should.
There has to be like a strict line between like using it to sort of spy on students, or like exchanging personal information, or like a professor like seeming to like cross the line.
Going down a road that leads to those kinds of potential harms, but rather creating a site either for a class, that would be best, in which information could be shared. There's no question Facebook is where students are.
I have a friend at a teaching assistant. I feel like the professors are, it's kind of intimidating to like friend a professor.
For a student to find out what's going on that day, maybe we're meeting in a new location because we're doing something different, what an assignment is, who's going to be giving a presentation, things that everyone in the class would benefit from knowing, then I think that's a perfectly fine vehicle to use.
Or like a TA maybe like having a wall, like students could gather and exchange information about the class, but I think it should be like clear that it's just for like exchanging and from class information and not like personal stuff.
Because strictly it's like an academic kind of relationship. It shouldn't be social.
I think there should be some type of clear policy. This way everyone knows what the rules are.
I think what Facebook has done recently is pretty good. Like, they have different categories where you categorize your friends, so you can put them on like limited profile. So I'm guessing like professors can still have students as friends, but like put them on like another group, and vice versa.
A lot of material out there. Colleges and universities have a tradition of sharing their policies, their guidelines, and so if one is looking for something, they often can just either find people like me who have stepped out to talk about such things, or they can go to their associations and see if there are resources there for them, whether it be an HR association, a student life association, and Information Technology, the national associations all have resources like this. So there's a lot of information. It's just a matter, I think, of people taking some time to find them and adapting them to whatever particular use or need they have.
Well, I don't care about